Data allows us to make very specific and strategic decisions, basically because it will assist the government institutions in planning and identifying where are the challenges appearing, which specific areas do they need to focus their energy on.
Also, countries have frameworks, monitoring frameworks that they have developed, and for this to operate well, then they need access to data, and not only data but reliable data.
Data sharing has a challenge, and mainly is because there are no laid out procedures on how data should be shared between one institution and the other. Perhaps one of the other barriers is data security, that there is no abuse of the data that is given. Then again, cost of generating this data. And there are no streamlined frameworks as to how this compensation should happen to support maintenance and also generating of further data in that area.
OFESA is really a platform for data sharing when it comes to forest information, and the purpose of sharing this information is to really assist the countries in identifying how they are performing as far as monitoring and management of forest is concerned.
One of the key output for OFESA is to develop a governance framework for data sharing, and which is sustainable for a long term. We are working in 5 countries, in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia and Mozambique. So we are reviewing some of the policy and governance issues relating to data sharing, if it's MOUs, for instance, if it's protocols that will enable these agencies share data amongst themselves and also across the region.
It's not just a website, but it's also an office setup, and we function like a secretariat whereby we respond to the various needs of the countries. They could be perhaps things like training, they could be forest monitoring that they would want us to do in specific areas.
Capacity building on data collection technologies through GIS and remote sensing. So we just concluded a regional training which brought about 25 people from the 5 countries to build their skills so that when they go back, they're able to apply these skills to collect data, to analyze.
Now, OFESA has supported us in upscaling an innovative forest alert system. It is in the category of what we are referring as low-cost monitoring. They are now, since the training, able to use our system and be able to report exactly as it is happening in real time.
The idea is to support them, to involve communities and forest rangers to be able to collect data through citizen science. We are mainly working with the national forestry agencies in these countries and also bringing in other partners, EU initiatives such as BioPharma, GMS Africa, to develop this observatory that will enable countries to be able to analyze how they are doing in terms of forest cover trends.
2 things that we would want to achieve this year. One is to really create and launch the OFESA Observatory that has this information that you can use to compare different countries and as well as understand the forest landscape in the country. The second thing is to come up with a state of the forest. So this is a report that will show how the forest landscape is and how the countries are performing in the region.
We already have initial themes that we have developed. These, for instance, include forest restoration, governance, RED+, community monitoring. And the next step is that we'll be working with the countries and trying to develop this state of forestry for the region. And this will be the first kind of a report in the region.
Because once data is retained in one particular area, it is not useful. Data is meant to support development, management, and therefore I call on all stakeholders to be able to embrace this noble idea of collecting, sharing, and bettering the resources that we manage across and within countries that we are responsible for.